Hey, hey, hey. Getting ready to go live on Murray's Law. We're live on Facebook. We are... trying to... Hey, 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 hey. So once you get in, let me know that you're here. Alea,
Hi, hi.
how is it going?
It is going amazing. How are you? Happy Monday.
It is Monday. Happy Monday to you too. I am great. Okay, yeah. I'm trying this thing with my puppy, seeing if she's going to behave and be able to like be out amongst the people this evening while I'm doing this. I don't know. My daughter said, She's like, nope. She's like, you already know that it's not going to work out. I'm trying. All right. Let's see. I need to make you a moderator. Just trying to figure out this thing out a little bit. We're getting ready to get started. All right. And then what I need to do is make sure that the room is unlocked. Let's see. Moderator. And then where do I go? Nope. Let's see. Leah, I need you to tell me, how do I make sure that this is public? I don't know. I think it is. I don't see a lock on it, so I think it's public. Cool beans. All right. It's Monday, 7 p.m. Central Time. Look at me with something on besides leggings and yoga pants. I did that just for y'all, just so you know. Really just for the people on Instagram, because the people on Instagram can see all of me. So this is for you, Instagram. But no, happy Monday. I'm excited to be here. Hopefully everyone can hear me. Okay. This is Murray's Law. If you aren't familiar with me, my name is Attorney LaConya Murray. I am a brand attorney, the owner of Off the Mark IP Solutions, where we help clients throughout the United States own their genius through trademarks, copyrights, and business development. On Mondays, I go live and I answer your questions about trademarks, copyrights, and business development. Today, I've looked and don't have any questions, which is cool because what I really want to do, give y'all a little legal tea. So if you are familiar with me, you remember the legal tea. You actually remember the podcast originally being named the legal tea. The legal tea is when I talk about pop culture from a legal view. And over, the last few days, the really big topic has been the young lady with the Gorilla Glue. And people have been talking about it from a trademark standpoint and what her remedies are and things of that nature. So I would like to talk about that. And then, of course, if you have questions, make sure that you raise your hand if you're in Clubhouse, or just pop them into the chat if you are on YouTube or Instagram, because we are going live in both those places today. So that's what we have. That's what we are. Let me know if you are okay with that. So, oh, actually, and I do have one question. So I think since I have one question, I'm going to answer that question first. And then I'm going to talk about the situation the situation that I told you about. And then I think what that'll do is probably prompt some more questions. But the young lady's name is Tessica Brown. So we're going to talk about Miss Tessica Brown. And after we answer our first question from Murray's Law, let's get into this question. And it's a good question. It's a really great question. So someone wanted to know, what's the difference between first use anywhere and first use in commerce? When you're completing a trademark application, if you're filing, and when you get to a point, they're going to ask you, when did you first use this mark anywhere? And then when did you first use it in commerce? And the reason that matters is when you're filing, slow down, LaConya, when you're filing for federal trademark protection, your good or service has to be available in commerce, meaning in multiple states, meaning something that Congress can touch because it's federal, right? If you're just a local business doing places and having customers that are really just local to you and not anywhere outside of that state that you're in, that's not in commerce. Congress can't touch you. So that first use anywhere wants to know, where did you first use this trademark in exchange with, goods or services, whether it's domestic or foreign, because sometimes you have people who they have a foreign trademark and they want to now they're moving into the United States, so maybe they use the trademark in another country. So where's your first use anywhere? So they just want to know, where have you used this mark? When we talk about use, you have to be mindful that we're not talking about domain names. Like, you purchase a domain name because you were getting ready to launch a good or a service. We're not talking about your pre-sales. You're getting ready to launch, so you're going to take orders before the product is actually available to people. We're not talking about pre-sales and pre-orders, domain names, book covers, things of that nature. We're talking about actual trademark use. Does this identify the source of a good or a service that's available in commerce? That's what we're talking about when we're talking about federal registration. And so what they're talking about for first use anywhere, that good or service is available for purchase by consumers, right? So that's that first use anywhere. Now, because we're talking about federal trademarks, like I just said, that good or service has to be available in commerce, meaning in multiple states, for consumers to purchase. So that's where you have the first use anywhere date and then the first use in commerce date, because sometimes they differ. A lot of times they are the same. But that is the answer to that question, and that was a really great question. So we're going to get into this legal tea, and I'm going to drop, like I said, give you a little tea, and then we'll open it back up for questions. So Tessica Brown, I don't know if you all have seen this. Tessica Brown is a young lady. She was on TikTok about 4 or 5 days ago. It's really heartbreaking. It's like not funny at all. When I first saw it, I was like, man, her hair is great. Like, it's all slicked back. It was, looking real nice, and it was shiny. But she said that it was not, like, she didn't want it that way. Like, it's been like that for days. And she had washed her hair at the time 15 times, and it couldn't come out. And what happened was she purchased Gorilla Glue spray adhesive in order to slick down her hair because she ran out of her normal product. There is another product called Gorilla Snot hair gel, and that's the product she intended to get. So people are like, what can she do? It was confusion. There was confusion between the two products. What can she do? And we'll talk about that. But I also want to just go a little bit into, so because of this, the Gorilla Glue company tweeted that she should use acetone to get it out. She went to the hospital trying to get it out. She can't. She's not finding any relief, and she's thinking about filing a lawsuit. Now, from the civil side, that's one point. But I want to talk about from a trademark brand side, because a lot of people have been saying that she should, because the brands are so similar, there should be one product should not have been able to get the trademark and use the trademark, and she should be compensated for that. And so that's what we're getting into, because that's my lane, the trademark lane. So what I want to do is tell you this. When we're talking about trademarks, and this is just really important as a business owner, when we're talking about trademarks and you're trying to come up with the name, the first thing you want to do is what's called a trademark clearance search. That trademark clearance search is going to let you know whether or not there are any same or similar names out there being used. And when you're talking about same or similar, you're also looking to see if they're same or similar in the same or related field. That's what people don't understand. That when you get a trademark, it's not a blanket protection. It doesn't prevent people everywhere and businesses everywhere from using your same or similar mark. It only prevents people that are using the same or similar mark in your same or related field. So if you go down, like if you just kind of look, you'll notice that there are some brands that share names, right? Dove is one that I keep using. Dove chocolate, because I think it's a perfect example of how you can have the same brand name, but because their products are not similar, then there's no confusion. So Dove for chocolate, Dove for soap. Nobody's gonna bathe. Well, Valentine's Day is coming up, so maybe somebody might bathe in chocolate. I don't know what y'all out here doing, but typically people are not bathing in chocolate, and eating soap, unless you say 30 words and your grandmother wash your mouth out with it. But again, under normal circumstances, people aren't doing that. And so when it comes to likelihood of confusion, this is what I want to kind of get into a little bit today. So when it comes to likelihood of confusion, because that's really a really popular refusal, like when you're filing your application, you're filing your application, and the examining attorney is going to take a look at it, right? The examining attorney is going to look at it and say that you shouldn't get your application because your trademark is similarly confusing to another trademark. And when they're doing that, they're talking about from a consumer standpoint. So for somebody like me or you that's shopping, or Miss Brown that's shopping, they're looking at it from a consumer standpoint. Would a consumer look at these brands and be like, are these from the same source? I don't know. Maybe it is, because that's what trademarks are really about, is to make sure that the consumers can readily identify the source of a good or a service, so they know where they're spending their money. So they make sure that they're getting the right product, the one that they intended to buy. And so when we're talking about likelihood of confusion, they have this thing called the DuPont factors. There's 13 things that they consider. 13, and sometimes they look at all 13. Sometimes they look at just one or two. But I want to go over that list, and then I want to talk about it as it relates to the Gorilla Glue. And so Gorilla Glue and the Gorilla Hair Gel. So I'm just going to read the list because I don't have it memorized. So they want to look and see how similar are the marks. Do they sound the same? Do they look the same? Do they give that same impression? And what I want you to do, so if you are in Clubhouse and on Instagram, when we finish going live, I want you to go over to the Genius Lounge and watch this, because I'm going to actually share my screen on YouTube so that you can see the difference, the visual difference between the products and even the labels. I want you to get a visual for that. So do they look the same? Do they sound the same? Do they give that same commercial impression? That's one thing. What's the nature of the goods? Are they the same or similar goods? Is it soap and chocolate? That's what they're looking at. This is a big one. Are they sold in the same channels? Like, are they going in the same trade channels? That's a good one, because I would say, and hey Kathy, because I would say that in this case, no. I mean, when you're going to get Gorilla Glue, aren't you going to someplace like Home Depot? And then when you're going to get hair gel, aren't you going to like the beauty supply store? And let's say you're going to someplace like Walmart and Target. Still, if you're looking for Gorilla Glue, you're going to a whole different section of the store than you are when you're looking for hair gel. So are they in the same channels? That's one of the things they're looking for. They want to know, what conditions are people buying? Is this an impulse buy? Are people careful? Are they taking their time and looking and reading labels? Are they sophisticated purchasers? The more money you're spending on something, the more time you typically spend looking and considering before you spend your money. But something that costs like $7, you can just pick that up. It has a grill on the front. Okay, $7. It's not that you're really going to think too much and spend too much time, considering. What else they want to know? Oh, how famous is this mark? Is the mark famous? So this is when you're talking about likelihood of confusion, meaning you filed an application and then there's already an application that's registered. So the mark is already registered. Is it a famous mark? Because if it's not a famous mark, then you have some leeway. But marks that are famous, so marks like Disney, Coke, things of that nature, even if the goods or services aren't related, you can have some challenges getting those trademarks because the other mark is famous. So they want to know if it's famous. They want to know the how many other similar marks in there. How many other marks are in there? the number and nature of similar marks in use on similar goods. Meaning sometimes you have a word or a phrase that's kind of popular in a certain industry. And so even though it might be similar to this mark, how many other trademarks in that using that same or something similar? They're going to look at that. That's a good argument too. You go and you show a list of all these trademarks that are using this phrase or this name that the examining attorney just told you that you couldn't use because somebody else is using it. And you're like, look, dude, it's like 10 people with registered trademarks in this same field using this mark. Why can't I use it? The other thing they're going to look for is like the nature. Like, is there any actual confusion? Is there any actual confusion? In this case, there was confusion. Like, how much confusion does it take in order to say that there was actual confusion? And how bad was, like, what's the extent? The variety of goods on which the mark is or is not used. So if you have a mark, a trademark, that has several trademark applications, several registered trademarks, and different industries and different fields, then the likelihood of confusion, even if what you're doing is not the same, there can be a likelihood of confusion because who knows when this person is going to enter into that industry if that's something that they're doing. If they have one trademark in several different industries, right? Let's see, what else do we have? The variety of goods, we did that. The market interface between the applicant and the owner of the prior mark, meaning the market interface between the applicant and the owner of the prior mark. Are they in the same place? And to the extent which the applicant has the right to exclude others from using this mark and good. Like, how strong is this trademark? And to the extent of actual confusion. Has there been, or the extent of potential confusion? Is there potential confusion? That's what they're looking at, right? When we're doing this trademark, is there likelihood of confusion? In this case, I would say like some of these apply and some of them don't. But when they're doing an analysis about whether or not there was likelihood of confusion between Gorilla Glue and Gorilla Hair Gel, that's what they're looking at. And I'm going to see if I can. So when you're looking here, so like again, I want you to go over to the Genius Lounge so that you can see what I'm sharing. Hopefully I can share. Let's see if I have my skills to share. But if you're looking at this, let's see, how do I... Never mind, I might not be sharing. I might just share it at the end because I don't know how to do this. But if you look at the Gorilla Glue, it's a spray can with the gorilla on it, and it says spray adhesive heavy duty. And I think I heard someone say that she got it from Amazon, so I went to Amazon to see what would come up. And it says Gorilla Heavy Duty Spray Adhesive Multi-Purpose. And that's what she said. She said it was multi-purpose, so I thought that it was okay. But if you scroll down a little bit more, it tells you what items that is used for. And it says about this item, heavy duty, dries permanent. Repositionable, non-yellowing, photo safe, comfort nozzle, wide pad, bonds, wood, metal, fabric, foam, plastic, paper, glass, leather, and more. That's what it says. And then on the picture, it's not really... Oh, even on the can, it tells you what under multi-purpose, it has, bonds, wood, metal, fabric. It has all of that on there, right? And it's an orange can with a black top. Now, Gorilla Snot looks like a banana. First of all, the container, it didn't have a spray. The bottle is shaped like a banana, in my opinion. Again, it has a picture of a gorilla on the label. And what does this say? Gel, new formula. About this item, apply a portion of Snot Gorilla Gel on your fingertips and start styling. This gel is strong like a gorilla. It's a whole factor 10 out of 10. Like this one says that it's curly for hair. Right. So if we go back to these factors, and if you have any questions, definitely you can raise your hand at any time, or you can jump in and let me know. Let me see. Where are my notes? So if we go back to these factors, right? So, and I want some input. Maybe I'll call some people. If you want to come in and talk about this with me, definitely raise your hand. and put some raise your hand on Clubhouse, and then you can put comments on Instagram and YouTube. But like, how similar are these marks as a whole? And I wish that I could show y'all. Like, I don't know how to share my screen on Instagram. I don't think I can. But one of them, like, if you Google it, like Google Gorilla Glue and then Google Gorilla Snot, and you let me know how similar those products look to you. I mean, they're semi-bright colors with gorillas on the front. But they don't look that similar. And then this can has what it's for on the can. Like, Gorilla Glue says what it's for. But that's one of the things that they look at. They don't even look at the can. But how similar is the name? So you have Gorilla, and both of them are Gorilla. So as far as being similar in name, I can see it being similar in name. They're both Gorilla. Like, the main part of the brand is Gorilla. Because glue and hair gel have to be what we call disclaimed, meaning that because they describe a feature of this product, we can't claim it and tell other people that they can't use it. So you're really looking at Gorilla. So, okay, check there, right? Similar. Okay, let's keep it going. What about how similar are the goods? See, the lawyer in me can argue either side. How similar are the goods? Okay, on one hand, one's a hair product, right? And the other is for bonding material, on the one hand. But on the other hand, they're both glue-like products that hold things down. One just holds down hair, the other one just holds down wood, leather, glass, etc., right? So how similar are those products? They're both adhesive in some way. One of them's just slicking down hair. The other one's doing the other product. Y'all tell me. Look, I'm not saying one way or the other. I'm just putting this out there. Because people want to know. Let's see. And then here's the other one. How similar are the channels where they're going to be selling? And I talked about this earlier. Personally, well, typically if you're going in a store to purchase it, these are going to be on two different aisles. Like, you wouldn't even see them. Like, you wouldn't even run into these products. Matter of fact, one can be sold at a department, what do you call those places? Like Home Depot? The little home good place. Not home.
Hardware store.
Thank you. Hardware. That's what I'm looking for, Max. Thank you. So,
Gotcha.
One is sold in a hardware store. The other one's sold in a beauty supply store. And if you go somewhere like Target or somewhere, they're still going to be on two different sides of the store. One thing I wanted to look at is when you go to Amazon, right? When you go to Amazon and you pull this up, they have and Aaliyah can tell me what the thing is called, like when it kind of follows you, like breadcrumbs, I guess. So I'll look it up. Let's see. And it kind of
Pixels.
Yeah, like pixels. Like, it tells you where. Okay, here it is. So when I go on Amazon, I go to Gorilla Glue. It says tools and home improvement. But if we're being honest, who's going to be looking in this little left-hand corner all tiny where it says that, right? I'm not. Okay, so that's Gorilla Glue. And then if I look at the Gorilla Snot, all beauty. So even on the internet, they're in two different places. But again, on the internet, it's harder because you're not checking for all that. You don't have to walk down the aisle and ask somebody for directions to where the Gorilla Glue is or the Gorilla Snot is. Online, you just put it in there and it pops up. So you're not looking to see, quote unquote, what aisle you're on, right? You're not doing that. You're like, oh, this product came up. This is what I'm looking for. What's the picture?
So,
Go ahead.
Okay, can I ask you a question? So, as a attorney in the field, do you feel, maybe you said it and I missed it, do you feel that she has the case?
Oh, so that brings up a whole nother point, is that she does not, as far as brand confusion, no, because brand confusion is between the companies. So it's the trademark belongs to the business owner. So the business owner is the person that would have cause to sue for likelihood of confusion or trademark infringement, not the consumers who mistakenly thought that it was one product over another. She might have grounds for something. No, that's just on the trademark side of it. So she might have something as far as civil, maybe. In this case, I feel like it'd be, I'm finna date myself. It's okay though. It's okay. I'm still young at heart. It's gonna be like when the ladies at McDonald's spilled that hot coffee in her lap.
If that's dating yourself, I remember that. We're not gonna.
I don't know. I don't know how you know. Sometimes I look at my analytics and it'd be like 20-year-olds. I'm like 20. Okay, cool. I got it. But yeah. So I feel like it can be one of those type situations. But that's just something we just have to look and see. But that's a good question. Really, both of those are really good questions. Let's see. So was this an impulse buy? Like I said, I mean, it's like $7. Let me see. Oh, that's a pack. A pack of 6 is $21.16. So you probably can get, and that's Gorilla Snot. You know, the price wasn't so high where it makes you pause before you purchase it. Someone says that this is such an interesting case. Oh, good. Thank you. Good. So I'm not old. All right. You all are my people. Good. Thank you. I appreciate that. Because someone on Instagram said they remember the McDonald's coffee thing too. And to be clear, I think I was young when that happened, but still old enough to remember. To be clear. Oh, that's the wrong one. Let's get back to it. It is such an interesting case, though. It really, I would love to see. First of all, I would love to see her get some relief. Oh my gosh, I just want her to get some relief, and I just pray for her, like the pain that she's going through, and what the outcome is going to be, and how permanent the damage is. I mean, because it's I mean, let me show you. Do I have it over here? Let's see. I mean, Gorilla Glue. Hold on. I'm getting something that I had to use Gorilla Glue on. I don't know how they broke this. You know, you have kids and stuff breaks. But this right here, Gorilla Glue. And I can like hold it like that. It's broke down here. I can hold it and it's not going to break. Gorilla Glue is really strong. Okay. So now the question is, how many other products are out there using Gorilla, right? So how many other adhesives are using Gorilla? I didn't look and see, but that's something that, you can Google and look and see. I can't imagine. I will just have to look and see. The next one was there any actual confusion? Well, we know the answer to that one. And thank you for telling me I'm not old. Appreciate that. We know the answer to that one. There was actual confusion. And was she the first? Was she the first to mistake the glue for Snot? Because that's what this was. It's not a case of I intentionally picked up Gorilla Glue for my hair, not knowing that it would harm my hair. This is a case of, I thought this was another product. So, yeah. And how long have these two products been on the market without any actual confusion? That's another thing they're going to look at. So if this is the only case where there's been confusion like that, that's not really a strong case. It's an extreme case. It's an extreme case, but is it a strong case for brand infringement, trademark infringement? And how many other goods now? I know Gorilla Glue, they have other products, but they're all similar products. Like they're all in that adhesive field, right? They're not out here they staying in their lane. And then how famous is the mark? So that's that. I mean, what do you all think? What do you all think about this situation? I know that it's a tragic situation, but as far from a brand standpoint, what do you think from a brand standpoint as far as the likelihood of confusion and, what is the responsibility of the consumer when they're shopping? And have you all considered these things? Like, my whole point of going over this is to use pop culture to help you. So now when you're going through and you're picking your brand name and your trademarks, these are things that I want you to look at and consider. Especially, I always tell people that before you even get to me, you can do a quick Google search and see what's out there. And now when you're doing your quick Google search, you can kind of, you know what I'm looking at and what the examining attorney is somewhat looking at when you're trying to see whether or not you're actually infringing on someone's brand. So that's what I want you all to know, that when we're talking about likelihood of confusion, there's a whole list of things that we look at. We're not just looking at, is it spelled the same? Does it sound the same? Does it look the same? There's a whole list of things. And as far as remedies are concerned, when it comes to trademark infringement, as a consumer, we don't have a recourse because we don't have a claim. We don't have a claim because we don't own it. We don't own the trademark. So the infringement is going to the party that's being infringed on. So the business does. So this is a case that we're definitely going to keep an eye on and see how it goes. So we still have a few more. Oh, it's 7:30. Well, let me ask you this. Does anyone have any questions? Because I know that I answered one question that was submitted. Are there any other questions? Any other questions about anything trademark, copyright, business related?
I have a question. It's more so about this case.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that they will take into consideration the fact that she used the Gorilla Glue in the same manner that she would have used the hair product, and that others use the hair product in the same way?
That's something that would definitely be considered, because it was clearly a case of brand confusion. Like, she thought one brand was another brand. She wasn't aware. She probably hadn't even heard of the Gorilla Glue for adhesive. Only thing she was familiar with was the beauty side of it. So she probably, and that's another thing. Like, did she even know to look? Sometimes you have names, you have certain things that are so common that to keep looking to see what it is. Like, so if you see I'm trying to now, I can't even think of anything off the top of my head, but there are some words that are so commonly used amongst brands and industries that you don't relate it directly to just one industry or one specific product. Like, you say, okay, let me keep looking at the rest of the word, because sometimes it's not a word, it's like a phrase, and the words vary. And so I think that's something that they're definitely going to would have to consider, but that's going to be on the civil side of things, So the question is whether or not one brand is going to come after the other brand for trademark infringement. I don't really see that, but we will definitely see. We'll definitely see. I wonder if y'all give me a second, I can see if Gorilla Snot has a trademark.
I don't think they're from the States.
But some businesses, oh yeah, I saw that too. Some businesses they're out of the States, but what they do is they go ahead and get a trademark sent here because they're doing business here. So I can tell you that there are a little under 1,500 applications and registered marks for the word gorilla. Gorilla Glue technology, business sales. Yeah, no. Gorilla Grip. Who is this? Metal hardware, cell phone cases. Yeah, it's something that definitely have to just go into more. It has a lot more trademarks than I thought it would. But yeah, That's just something interesting to see how the two companies are going to play it, and then how she's going to handle it with the Gorilla Glue company, as far as the warnings and what happened and the damage. I know that Gorilla Glue told her to use acetone on her hair, and I think that ended up causing more damage. That's something that that's not good.
Do they get held responsible for that? Because
Oh,
I'm sure she got the answer from a certified rep that told her to do that.
if the company told her to do something and it caused some more damage, I would definitely hold them accountable for that. I would definitely hold them accountable for that. If they told her to do something and it ended up causing more damage, I followed your directions. Yeah. She and then she tried something else, and it just made it. I don't know. It kind of softened it up, but then it hardened up again. Like, she gonna have to shave her hair off, but it's not just about shaving her hair off now. It's like, what kind of damage has been done to the scalp? What kind of, like, that part?
That's what I saw. They were wondering if her hair was going to grow again, if she had done damage to the follicles.
Yeah, permanent damage. I don't know. It's just a sad situation, but we have to slow down. We have to slow down. Reading is fundamental. That's what I would say. Well, yeah. Let's see.
I'm glad you said that, LaConya. I'm really glad you said that, because I was like, that's been my whole thing about the whole situation. Is reading is fundamental, so I'm really glad you said that, because I didn't want to feel bad.
After I said it, I did feel a little bad, but she's an adult. It's not like she's a kid. Like, we have to, at some point. Now, this is just a general question. Hold on, let me see what this says. There may be some negligence on her part because she let that situation go on for so long. Right. There might be some negligence on her part. I mean, that goes back to what I just said. Reading is fundamental, and I did feel a little bad for saying that. But we have to, and I always wonder this. Like, at what point do we hold people accountable? I think as a society we're so quick to put the blame on other people. At what point do we hold people accountable for the mess they put themselves in? Like, this is a real question. Somebody answer it.
I really want to know what store she went in to buy this adhesive.
From what I recall, I don't think she went into a store. I think she ordered it from Amazon. I saw somewhere, or maybe that was just someone assuming.
I thought that too. I thought it came from Amazon too. But then I'm like, LaConya, reading is fundamental. Like, you have to read the description and stuff before you order it. And I think, like LaConya said, at what point do we hold people responsible for their own negligence?
Because if you look at the can, like, when you go to a hair store, like, the hair products, they're kind of fun colors and stuff. They kind of draw you in. This is like an orange and black can. It doesn't really look like hair product, but it can be a hair product because we do have aerosol cans. We used to have hairspray and things of that nature. It's just really sad. But it says spray adhesive, heavy duty. Didn't even say anything about hair gel. What is this on? Let me see what this says around the. No, that just says incredibly strong, easy to use, heavy duty bond, clear coating, controlled spray, indoor, outdoor. That would concern me, right? Why are y'all worried about whether or not I can use this product indoors and outdoors? Like, what does that mean? And then it goes on to says bond, wood, metal, fabric, wood, foam, plastic, paper, glass, leather, and more. Maybe the hair falls under the and more part. And it does say that it's repositionable. So that's one thing too. It does say it's repositionable. So she probably thought that you can reposition it. You should be able to. But that's before it dries, though. Like, when I glued this thing together, like, I read the instructions on, and that's like, did you read the instructions on how to use it? I guess not, because it's hair gel. I know how to use hair gel. But I read the instructions before I glued that thing together. I don't know, but I always read instructions. Like, I'm one of those ones when you get the box, like IKEA furniture, I'm going to read the freaking instructions on putting this thing together. But, yeah. All right, beautiful people. Are there any questions? I know that I kind of hijacked y'all's Murray's Law, but I wanted to talk about this and we didn't have any questions. All right, Courtney, bringing you up, possibly, maybe. There we go. Did I do it? Nope, I did it.
Hi, can you hear me?
I can hear you, Courtney. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing awesome.
Okay, I have a question. I found you actually on Facebook under JNG, and so I just kind of looked under in the search under trademarks and copyrights, and so I seen that you had a YouTube channel. So I kind of went out there, and you kind of gave me the information, but I just want to verify. I just want to make sure.
Okay.
So I'm in the process of making, like, we have our own brand. So we are YouTubers, content creators. And so I'm actually also having a t-shirt brand. And I came up with a slogan that I want to put on the t-shirt. And I'm just trying to see, can I copyright it?
No.
Okay.
And
you answered that.
he's like, I got the answer from your channel, but hopefully if I talk to you, maybe I listened and heard it wrong. I get it. So trademarks, copyrights don't protect short phrases. So the copyrights do protect original work. And let me preface this by saying that when we're on Murray's Law, this is education, not advice. So if you want to schedule a consultation, you're more than welcome to. But copyrights don't protect short phrases. Right? So, but if you have a body of work, like a poem or a song or something, and this phrase comes out of that, then it's protected because it was in that whole body of work that was protected. Gotcha. Trademarks only protect short phrases that identify the source of a good or a service.
Gotcha. Okay. Thank you. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. But if you want to talk about what you can do in order to protect it, schedule, I got some ideas. Schedule a consultation and I can tell you exactly what to do.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Great question. Let's see. And look, I have on glasses, but I still need to come up here and see. Thank you all for joining me. Thank you so much for joining me live on the YouTube and on the IG and on Clubhouse. Now, I heard, now you guys tell me if you've heard this. I just saw something and I was going to do it today, but I just jumped in. But I heard that the algorithm is not showing scheduled rooms. So basically you schedule it and then you need to delete it and just start a new room in order for it to be shown to the people. Have y'all heard that?
No, I haven't, but that, I wouldn't put it past something that can happen.
Yeah, I saw that in one of the Facebook groups that I was in. I was like, interesting. Oh well. But I'm glad that everybody joined us today and came in. If you want to watch the replay, make sure you head over to the Genius Lounge in order to watch the replay. Okay? And if you have not joined or completed an application for the Genius Insider, go ahead and do that. I'm just going to tell you to go ahead and do that. Genius Insider is our paid legal and business membership program. You get free consultations, free document review. We do this weekly. We have monthly master classes. It's a really, really dope program for business owners who are looking to make sure that they create their business on a good foundation, make sure they're doing the right thing, make sure they're not setting themselves up for failure legally, and they also want a mentor. I don't call myself a coach or a consultant. I feel like I am more of a mentor to my clients and things of that nature. So if you have questions that are business related, definitely, like, I can talk to you about business all day long. It makes me happy. So go fill out the application. You can go to thegeniuslounge.co, scroll down, and you'll see the application at the bottom. And the Genius Lounge is our free community. Like, if you haven't joined our free community, like, what are you waiting on? Like, for real, for real. I don't know. You got to tell me.
For real, for real.
Like, for real. Like, it's, what are you doing? You go, yeah, come on over there. We got some great things planned for this year. So come on over there. Come on. And a lot of times you're going to hear it there first before you hear it anywhere else. So there you go. All right, beautiful people. Hold on. Let me smile for Instagram, since Instagram will not allow me to change the covers on my IG lives for some reason. I need to come here and do some type of smile. And hopefully it picked it up. Hopefully it picked it up so that I can make it a, whatever you call it, cover.
Thumbnail.
Yep, that thumbnail. Look at y'all coming through when my tongue is being tied. Let's see, share to IG. All right, beautiful people. I'm hanging everybody up. All right, hanging you up on the